In today's video, I'm going to make a comparison between the Wenger's Awl and the Victorinox Awl. I will also show a modification I made to the Wenger's Awl so that it better meets my needs. The Wenger's Awl has a rounded tip with no sharp edges. The cross section though is very beefy and strong. The tip of the Victorinox Awl is very sharp. It also has a sharp edge. I find this is more practical than the Wenger Awl. This Wenger snap shackle has a large screwdriver, but it does not have a fine screwdriver like the Victorinox. A viewer of my previous video, James, made some comments, and that prompted me to modify the Wenger's Awl into the fine screwdriver. Thank you, James. I will now go through how I go about making this modification. First, I mark a line such that it matches the tip of the Victorinox fine screwdriver. Next, I clamp the knife on the Tormek jig as shown here. I am now proceeding to grind the tip off. I started slow, but it did not take me long to grind it off once I get used to it. With the tip ground to the correct width, I can now proceed to grind the side to my desired thickness. In order to achieve an even and nice finish, I kept the sideways movement to a minimum. To achieve the desired tip thickness, I use a Wenger screwdriver and a grub screw to guide me. I wanted the tip thickness to be as thick as possible and yet fit into many different kinds of screws. Here I'm trying out the fit on a Phillips screw. And this is what it looks like after grinding to the correct width and thickness. If you look closely, there is a very hollow, shallow grind. Here's a comparison on the tip width with the Victorinox fine screwdriver. And here's a comparison of the tip thickness. Notice the Wenger is much thicker at the shank. Another tip I got from James was to use the can opener as an awl. That's a good tip, James. Thank you. And now to test out my new modified fine screwdriver. Here I'm trying to remove a grub screw. It's the same grub screw that was used earlier. Just like the Victorinox fine screwdriver, which has a sharp edge, I can use it to scrape off dirt or coatings. Now I'm going to test it with a pair of small scissors. Notice the fit is very nice. Finally, I like to share with you some documentation I made for this modification. The summary at the bottom shows the different tip widths and thicknesses. At the top, you can see the shank thickness is about 2 mm. In use, it feels very solid. Unlike the Victorinox fine screwdriver, there is no flex at all. Well, that concludes my video for today. I hope you enjoy watching it and have a good day ahead. Thank you and goodbye.